Hi everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Chairman of the Board. I am Tyler.
And I'm Danny.
And today, we're doing another film review for you. Danny, what is the name of the film we're reviewing?
Brightburn.
Brightburn. Now this one's interesting. So from my understanding, the concept they're kind of dishing out is that it's a superhero, a young superhero, a child basically, or an adolescent, who is given these superpowers, but is not necessarily doing them for good.
Yeah, so it's like if Superman was bad.
So essentially, they're making a super villain, and we're seeing the development of super villain, which is it's interesting concept, and it's actually kind of entertaining to think about.
Yeah.
Like you don't know where the superhero and the super villain kind of trade that line, dance that line.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm interested to see this one. It's directed by David Yarovesky.
It's starring Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah, Elizabeth Banks from 40-year-old virgin fame and all that kind of fun stuff. But she's definitely had a very strong career up until this point, so I'm excited to see what exactly they do with the story, because this isn't something that you typically see all the time.
So yeah, with this one, we're kind of excited to see, because we didn't want to look into it much so we could be surprised by some of the things that happen. So that being said, I say we jump on in there, Danny. And
yeah, it's time to get some tickets.
So stay tuned. We'll be right back with you guys.
All right.
This year, he's not here
No, you
to save the world.
No.
No one knows how special I am, but someday the whole world will burn.
Brightburn.
Hey everyone. Well, that was interesting. Brightburn, that was a movie.
Yes.
It was a clever idea.
Yeah.
We'll dive into this more in our sit down, which we're actually going to do right after this. But when we go into further detail. But
yeah.
It was a remake of Spider-Man. Or no, sorry, excuse me,
Superman.
And it's funny because sitting in the theater, I was sitting there and I leaned over Danny and I'm like, this is the story of Superman.
Yeah.
Almost exactly. You can even consider it a ripoff in ways, because down to on a farm, found in a spaceship. Mom and dad didn't say anything to anybody, no government officials, nobody. Just go in there and take care of the kid like their own, hide it. Even down to the cape. Well, in this situation, it was a red mask, but that was the same cloth that the child was wrapped in when they found it.
Yeah.
So leads you to believe that there's some obviously there's some major hints to Superman there.
And it's just it's a cool concept to delve into the super villain.
Yeah.
But to kind of just literally take Superman out and put in super villain guy, kid, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Brandon.
I don't know. I don't know.
But Danny, why don't you? I usually give my rating first, I believe.
Yeah.
So why don't you go ahead and give your rating and see where I stand.
I thought the build-up was kind of cool, but the more I started to think about the story and it was just a rip-off of Superman.
It got distracting.
It just got distracting, and I just was like, man, I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to go a 5.
You know what? I think this is the first time that it's not a top-notch movie that we both agree on. I'm actually gonna say 5 too. I've been debating between 5
and
6. We'll see you guys in a little bit. We'll talk more. Okay?
Yep.
Bye. All right, everyone. We're at our sit down, our controlled situation to talk about it.
I had a little bit of time to think about it after leaving the theater.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm still I'm still sticking with 5.
Yeah, nothing's changed about my score.
More I thought. I almost felt like it should go down a little bit, but it's a generous 5.
I want to stay true to my initial reaction. I don't like to change my score, even if I have time to think about it. So,
when we first initially had a reaction, it was as you're watching, you're like, all right, an alien spaceship landed at a farmhouse.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds familiar.
And they set it up to where they're showing, obviously this couple wants to have a baby. They have these books on infertility and
right away,
pregnancy and stuff like that, and they're getting intimate.
And then even the father says, well, maybe tonight I would make a child.
Yeah.
And then they have, it's just. It was too much Superman. It was a reimagining Superman, and honestly, I felt like if they would have just said that from the beginning, maybe we'd go in with a better understanding of what they're doing. Because as we're watching it, like I said, it got really distracting when you're like, well, this is Superman.
But like, there was a lot of potential. I mean, there's a lot of potential. Like, you got either way, different directions that weren't necessarily Superman related. I mean, because honestly, you know, I wouldn't even. I know I'm being a dead horse with this one, but it wasn't even like it was like a hint to Superman. It was like, and it wasn't even the skeleton work of Superman. It was initially, it's like the skeleton muscle tissue. It just didn't have the skin.
Yeah.
It was just a different skin, but everything else was Superman, and that was like extremely distracting.
But I kept wanting to give it a chance. Like, as it continued, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool because like he's like a bad guy, but it's just like, but at what expense?
Right.
I don't know.
One of the other things is that they left at the end of the movie, they left a big window for a possible number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like instead of, I think it would have been better for this series if they finished the kid off or had him leave or even destroy Earth, like in Cabin in the Woods or what it was. Like
Yeah.
You know, just like finish the story.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to.
Don't leave it open ended.
Don't leave it open ended the way they did. Because what they did is they left it open ended with, you know, this is just my opinion, what I think of the movie should have been, but they left it open ended, and they were like, oh, who's this mysterious figure in the sky? And he's like going through and destroying buildings, and he's going through and wreaking havoc on the world, but he's only doing it a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he's hell-bent on destroying the world. It's like, well, I mean, if he was really hell-bent on destroying the world, he could do it all in one night. He can Santa Claus that, and with the super speed that he had, and literally destroy things and just leave it, but instead he's like torturing, which, I mean, I guess is kind of like what he does, because yeah, it's just like he has this like torture aspect to it. But then other people he just wipes out, like the sheriff. He literally hit him, and he was pieces, and he was gone.
It was very anticlimactic.
Yeah, like they built up to this thing, and like, you know, of course at the end of the movie, he picks up his mother, brings her up, and drops her
from space,
from the uppermost atmosphere, or you know, as high as they can go before they lose oxygen and freeze. And one of the things that bothered me about that was that, like, well, I mean, to be honest, we didn't see her die. We just saw him drop her. I think, honestly, my rating would have changed if the ending was different. And I don't know if that's my American moviegoer where I want a good ending at the end of our movie. I mean, I'm okay with leaving with a bad ending, but give us an ending. Don't give us a continuation. Or like, hey, guess what? Story continues, and you don't know what's going to happen next.
Either way, I mean, it was an okay film. There were some cool moments, but for the most part, it's one I would say that if you're not like super like into that kind of stuff, then just avoid, just miss this one. Wait for it to come out on Netflix or whatever.
Yeah, definitely don't pay for this. Red box it if you can.
Yeah,
I mean, just don't pay for movie prices for it.
Yeah, it's one of those like kind of like dumb thriller movies you can put on like during Halloween.
That's the thing, is this thing covers so many genres of film, with superhero, slasher horror kind of, but it's a suspense thriller as well. I mean, it was billed as a horror film, and but really the only horror film about it was the gratuitous blood and injury, and then the pop-up scares. There's a lot of pop-up scares, even though that it was what they always did. There was a couple of them where they did the pop-up scare. That was the build up. Hey, what's up? I'm just some, you know, you weren't expecting me to be here, but it's not a scare thing. It's like, you know, it's just, oh my god, I can't believe you're hiding there.
Anyways, I don't want to sit here and nitpick this movie anymore because I'm over it now. So yeah, I'm gonna stick to my same score.
Oh yeah, mine's not changing. You're sticking with 5. I mean, entertainment was there. You guys, it could have been better, but it could have been way worse. I mean, however, you know, lost me at the end. That some films do, and
couldn't get over the fact that it was just Superman, but super bad man. So
I think it's one of the movies you're okay with us spoiling.
Yeah, trust me.
If you know, obviously you watch this, you know what happens, and so we saved you some time, and it's a couple bucks.
Yeah.
You know, consider like we were saying earlier, consider this for your Netflix at home when you're you know, when you're just like, let's see what that movie came out not too long ago. Let's see what the hype is about.
Or come like Halloween time if you want a cheesy horror movie.
Yeah, cheesy but not over the top.
Yeah, so something you can put on in the background you don't have to pay attention to.
Yeah. So well, I am Tyler.
And I'm Danny.
And we are the Chairmen of the Board. Thank you for tuning in, all you board people. Keep updated with all our new stuff coming out. Feel free to comment below and tell us about what you thought about the movie.
If you saw it, or...
And give us the likes, even if you disliked us, our commentary.
Share the video, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell everybody. But thanks for tuning in.
All right, you stay bored out there, everybody.